Hello everyone, today I'm finally going to be checking out Marvel Cakes for their viral spiral croissants. I first found out about Marvel Cakes from the Instagrammer Eats by Rachel, and I saw her reel, and now that reel has over 1 million views, so it has certainly gone viral, and I actually also saw a post by the SF Gate about Marvel Cakes and their spiral croissants. I've heard that Marvel Cakes has really long lines, and I think that's due to the fact that they only make 250 croissants per day. The reason that they only sell 250 croissants per day is because it takes 10 hours to make these spiral croissants, and I think that's just because it's so intricate, it's a spiral design, and they also fill them with cream. Let's head over to Marvel Cakes now. I'm planning to get there half an hour early, so hopefully it's not too crowded. When I got to Marvel Cakes at 9:30, it wasn't too crowded, but there was already a line. When I left Marvel Cakes at 10:30 AM, there was a line around the building, so I recommend getting there at 9:15 so it's less crowded. I'm back now from Marvel Cakes. They had 3 different spiral croissant flavors, and they also got some other treats, so I can't wait to show you what I got. The first spiral croissant I'm going to be trying is the strawberry one, and it looks so colorful. I love the pink cream on top, and it's also super colorful on the inside. Let's give this a taste. It smells so nice and buttery. What a great start. I love the strawberry spiral croissant. The outside croissant is really thick and crunchy, has a really nice shell. The inside is also nice and soft. I love the cream. It's so rich and has such a rich strawberry flavor. There's a little bit of seeds in there, it adds a really nice crunch. I just love the texture of this in general. Next is the pistachio croissant, and I'm really looking forward to this one. I love pistachio croissants, especially the ones in France, although I don't think this one's going to be quite as good, but we'll just have to see for ourselves. Here it goes. Again, the croissant's delicious, and I think this is quite interesting because on the outside you have some roasted pistachios, so you get a really nice crunch. In the inner cream, it doesn't taste like there's any pistachio extract in there, which I'm a little disappointed about, but it's a little bit different. It's almost like a pistachio nut butter mixed with the cream, because it's so smooth and rich, but it has a super intense and earthy roasted pistachio flavor. This is definitely pretty unique, and it's an interesting take on a pistachio croissant. And finally, our last spiral croissant to try is our chocolate spiral croissant. Wow, this is intense. You have such a robust dark chocolate flavor. It tastes really high quality. It's also quite bitter, and I think it contrasts pretty well with the buttery, flaky croissant, so it's definitely worth a try if you're into chocolatey rich items. Now I'm going to be moving on to some of our other treats. The first one is a fruit tart. In terms of taste, it's a pretty standard fruit tart. I do like the crunchy crust, and the fruit's nice and fresh. The filling is quite nice as well. It's nice and sweet and creamy, but I think the main reason people love fruit tarts is because of the presentation. As you can see on here, there's a little bit of gold on top of the blueberries, so it's really nice and colorful. Next is the lemon tart, and this is one of my favorite items to get at a bakery, and this one looks really nice. There's a lemon filling, and then it's topped with a little bit of cream. Wow, this is just such a nice lemon tart. The crust is so crunchy, perfect texture, and it's so buttery. And I love the filling. It's really nice and lemony, and the sweet whipped cream on top so adds a really nice fluffiness, and that's what I really like about the sweetness. It's not overly sour from the lemon, and it's also not overly sweet. Next, I'm going to be trying the chocolate mousse tart, and this is another item that looks almost too beautiful to eat, but the chocolate smells enticing me, so I can't wait to go for a bite of this. Wow, this is actually incredible. I think this might be the best thing on their menu that's not a spiral croissant. I love the layers in here. I had no clue about all the different layers. On top, that flower design is chocolate mousse. Underneath it, you have a dark, rich chocolatey layer that's really nice and firm. And then beneath that, you have an ooey gooey caramel all wrapped together in this beautiful chocolate crust. I know that Marvel Cakes is really famous for their spiral croissants, but you really do need to try this. You really shouldn't be leaving them without trying their chocolate mousse tart. Next to try is their pistachio tart, and this just looks like a beautiful dome of pistachio goodness. Again, I'm obsessed with the textures of this pistachio tart. You have a really nice roasted flavor, and the top cream is like biting into a cloud. It's just so light and airy. And below that, you have a chocolatey layer that has a bit of chocolatey flavor. And then beneath that, again, you have little pieces of pistachios, which add a nice crunch. In a way, it almost reminds me of puffed rice, just because of the texture and the size of it. The flavor of this, again, is very similar to the spiral croissant, the pistachio one. It just has a really nice roasted flavor, and it's really nice and earthy, so this is a really good replacement if you can't get your hands on that pistachio spiral croissant. Our second to last item to try is their passion fruit tart, and I can already smell this really tart and intense fruitiness coming out from it, so I have a feeling it's going to be great. Wow, this is guaranteed to make you pucker, but in a good way. The cream is very similar to the pistachio cream, very light and airy, but it has such a rich passion fruit flavor. It's so tart and sour, but it's definitely balanced out a little by the mango jam that's underneath it. Really adds a nice sweetness. I also love the bit of shredded coconut on there, and I really do love this. This definitely reminds me of the tropics. Finally, our last item to try is the chocolate hazelnut tart. Oh, this is wonderful. I love the outside. I feel like it's coated in a chocolate ganache. It's so glossy, and the flavor of it is incredible. It's so rich and chocolatey. Again, it almost seems like a chocolate mousse, a little bit more rich than that, just because it's so bitter from all the dark chocolate. And I also taste some hazelnut in there. It really tastes like a hazelnut crunch, which I really like. Some of my favorites that weren't croissants were the chocolate mousse tart, the chocolate hazelnut tart, as well as the passion fruit tart. Those three were all tied for being my favorite. They're just so delicious. And for croissants, I gotta say the strawberry spiral croissant was definitely my favorite. It just had the most flavor. I think the cream for that one was the most intense, and I love the fresh strawberry taste. I'm gonna be honest, I was slightly doubtful about the hype of Marvel Cakes. I thought there's no way that people are waiting in a gigantic line just to get spiral croissants, but I definitely could see why. And it's not just spiral croissants, they're great. All their other items are really tasty as well. You definitely should check out Marvel Cakes. Just make sure to get there bright and early in the morning. And yeah, I really hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure if you did, to give it a like, and also make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.